In my last video, we spoke about rule number 1 to leave the rat race. Income minus expenses is equal to savings. This is a simple rule, but without savings, there is nothing to work on. With no money, there is no investments, there is no growth, there is no leaving the rat race. So start focusing on your income and your expenses so that you can start having savings. Lowering expenses is almost immediate. Raising income takes a bit longer, so be patient. But you have to start working on both of them. In today's video, let's look at rule number 2. Savings plus smart risks equals investing. I want to talk to you about how to do each one well, how to save well, how to assess risks and do it smartly, and what kind of investments you should consider and what you should completely stay away from. Let's start with savings. The way to do it well is to automate it. Make sure it's realistic. A portion of that goes into your checking account. The rest of that goes directly into your investment accounts. The way to make sure that this is realistic and it doesn't break is to work on your income as well as your expenses. Make sure they are both realistic so that the number that goes to your investment accounts can stay there for a long time. The second thing you need to do is think of this as a very long-term play. This does not happen overnight. It takes many years, which means that you need to visit your lifestyle. If you enjoy life today doing expensive things, you will need to change that and find hobbies that are cheap or free. The third thing you need to do is to focus on your own team. If you have a spouse or a family, they are the only people who matter in this journey. Make sure you're all playing on the same team towards the same goal. What you don't want to do is focus on others. Don't look at the friends around you. Don't look at social media. Most people save very little. You should not be getting inspiration from them because they are not leaving the rat race and you are trying to. So you will need to do things a little bit differently to be able to leave the rat race. Let's talk about risk and how to take it smartly. The first thing to learn about risk is that there is no free lunch. There is no way to get high rewards with low risk. And if someone is selling you that, you should be careful. High reward comes with high risk and you will have to wait a long time before you can see that money. Think of it this way. If you lend $100 to your friend, you can expect to get it back in about a week, the same $100. It's a low risk, low reward, low time frame investment. Now, if the same friend wants to start a business and they ask you for money, you need to pause. You could potentially make a lot of money, but you could also lose the entire investment. And it won't be coming back in a week. You will probably have to wait 5 years or longer to see any returns on that money. Investing is very similar. With any high reward investments, the risks are also high. And you have to wait a long time to see that money. If the risk is low, so is the reward. And usually you can get it back anytime. The last thing you want to do to make sure that the risks you take are smart is to make sure you understand the risk and reward of every investment. Just because it's got a high reward doesn't mean you should get into it. For example, if you need to buy something in 6 months, that money should not be in anything that's a high risk, high reward situation. But money that you don't need for a long time can be put in higher risk, higher reward investments. Let's talk about the third thing in our savings plus smart risks equals to investments equation. There are 5 kinds of investments. The first and the easiest is cash. Low risk, low reward. You keep it in the bank, you can get it anytime you like. Most people should be keeping between 6 months to up to 2 years of your expenses in cash. Anything more than that, you should move up in how much risk you take so you can get a little bit more reward. Next up from cash is bonds. This is medium risk, medium reward. Bonds is no different than just loaning money to somebody. The best money to keep in bonds is money that you will need in about 3 to 7 years. Because it's medium risk and medium reward, you're not taking undue risk with that money. Next up from bonds is stock. This is high risk, high reward, and you should only put money into this if you don't need it for 7 to 10 years. The wrong way to buy stock is to buy individual stocks of companies that are hot and that everyone is talking about. The right way to buy it is to buy lots of it. Diversify. Nobody really knows which company will do well, so you're best off buying a lot of them. The easiest way to do that is buying a mutual fund or an ETF. We'll talk about that in future videos. Next up from stock is putting money into a business. That includes real estate businesses like buying and selling stuff or renting stuff out. They are all small businesses. Personally, I recommend beginner investors stay away from all kinds of businesses, including real estate, because a business is not just an investment, it's actually a job. In addition to putting money in, you need to put a lot of labor also. That's the only reason you get a higher return. You're not just getting it for the risk you're taking. So for most beginner investors, I don't think it's a very good idea, and that includes real estate. The last category of investments is what I call random stuff. Things that are fashionable today. It might be a company, it might be something like crypto. Just stay away from it. For most people, you have no business buying any of this stuff, and that includes precious metals or special art or anything like that. It is entirely useless in your portfolio. Thanks for watching rule number 2 of how to walk away from the rat race. Next video, I will talk about rule number 3. Investments plus time equals freedom. That's when you can walk away from the rat race. See you in the next video. Smartly. Ooh.